Hey ladies, I am here with the beautiful Anne Weigeld today to have a very, very special video for you. We are going to be talking all about the beauty of embodying your feminine flow through dance. And I met this absolutely beautiful goddess when I was here in Bali, and she was offering up a special dance class specifically around helping women to tap into their beautiful feminine flow, which may sound a little woo-woo, but it is so beautiful. And so I wanted to invite her to talk a little bit about her journey with this coming. I know you came from the corporate world as well, and how she's been really able to find her feminine flow and why it's so important for each of us to do that in our own lives. So welcome, Anne.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me a little bit, like, what is feminine flow in your eyes?
Well, the class I'm teaching, Embody Feminine Flow, it's basically aimed at women to reconnect with their body, but also body, mind, and soul, and really get back into their body, reconnect with their life, be present in the now, and actually seeing the beauty and the goddess that they are already now, stripping away all the learned conditioning, all the learned, you have to be like this, you have to be like that, and say like, no, this is me, and really fully embracing it also with your curves and edges, and just like fully loving you, and then from there seeing how your life actually is improving, and your relationships with yourself and people around you are just improving.
That is so beautiful, and I really, really love that. And it's just something I hold so dear to my heart too. That's why I was so excited to meet you. Anne is a Embody the Feminine Flow dance teacher, and she's also a certified Reiki healer. So she's a very energetic, connected being, and really is tapped into what this really means on a deeper spiritual level. So you were talking a little bit about stripping away all of the expectations of what we think we're supposed to be as women. Can you elaborate on that a little bit and what that actually means? What you were saying, or maybe women that you interact face around those limitations?
So we're really kind of, since we're small, actually told, oh, you have to become this, you have to become that. There's so many people around us trying to form us into a certain way. Also, oh, you're too loud of a girl, like, you should actually just like calm down a little bit and just sit nicely and like a little lady. But maybe you are the adventurous one, maybe you are the outspoken one that just actually running into a room just lights up the entire room with your energy and your cheerfulness. And that's basically through the dance, we basically we play with that. We do a little bit of creative play, we get in touch with the movements as well to see, okay, how does it feel to be a loud girl again? How does it feel to be a sensual woman? And how does it feel as well if I actually touch myself, my legs, my hips, maybe even my face? When was the last time you really consciously touched your face and looked at yourself like, oh, actually, look at my cheekbones, they're really pretty, or I have luscious lips, for example. So it really kind of gets you back there and look at yourself and play in a safe space, so that you can say, okay, I always thought actually I was the daring one, so let me just dare explore with my movements through the dance, how it feels.
Yes, I love that you say that. And ladies, I'm sure we can all agree. When was the last time that you actually were allowed permission to just feel yourself, right? And just allow yourself to just get back to that sensual, sexual, just like juiciness, right? It gets kind of dried up when we get into this rhythm of who we think we need to be and to conform to the way that life has taught us to be. So I love that you bring that into the play, and especially with having mirrors in the room. Like the work that I share with all of my clients is all about really helping to embrace your image, and using a mirror is a really great tool for that. Because it's hard. It's hard to look in a mirror and not want to judge yourself.
You're very scared, like, no, that's not me. You know what I mean? Ooh, this is me?
This is me. And then how does the confidence come through when you do this kind of work?
I would say it depends on every person, on every woman. Every time, like when we meet, it is a circle. It might be changing women, it might be some faces you know again. So it depends a little bit on yourself, how quickly you allow to really just arrive and be. And oftentimes what I noticed for me, it took me a couple classes to really say, okay, I'm safe here and I'm allowed to move. Mm-hmm. I remember the first class, which was 3 years back by now. I was there, I was supposed to dance. I'm like, why do I have to dance? I don't want to dance. Like, okay, there's other people dancing too, okay, cool. But you had other women looking at you, and really being there in the center was like, okay, this is kind of really leaving my comfort zone. But through creating a very sacred space and safe space, and it helped me to get out of it and to say, okay, everybody is here, all the women, all different size, shapes, nationalities, all with their all different wounds, but also experiences. We're all here and we all support each other. And that really helped in the end to say, okay, let me be the daring one, or let me be the one that puts you back in place if you really cross my borders, for example. And it's a beautiful experience. So in the beginning, I remember I was closing my eyes, like, no, I don't want to look at myself. So it was an internal journey. But then, sort of time, I said, hey, what if I open an eye? And I start projecting outwards. And then I said, okay, let me look at myself in the mirror. And I'm like, ooh, this looks really nice. And it's like this elegant gait in a way. I'm like, ooh, this is me. I like this. So I was like, okay, let me have more of it. And then step by step, you just like, okay, take this out, take that out, and you just like, look at it. This is me. And then you see maybe 5, 8 other women saying, oh, let me touch myself. You're like, oh yeah, me too, I want to touch my booty. So, yeah. Yes. And it feels so good to be back in the body.
Yes. Be out of your mind and into your body. I know that's something you talk about a lot too, like letting go of all the mental chatter that we get caught up in all the time as women, right? And the emotions that just start to like swarm through our heads, and just letting that go and just getting into your body.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about can you talk a little bit more about the emotions and how like movement can really help move some emotions through you?
Yeah. Like we know, emotions basically is energy in motion. And we all know it, like if we're happy, we have like this beautiful feeling, electrified, and we're just happy, we want to jump around, we want to bounce around, we want to go everywhere, and just, it's very contagious, and we just spread it out. However, when we're sad or angry, we usually kind of hold it in, we kind of like become smaller, like no, I don't want to move, I want to stay here. And through this, subconsciously, we actually hold on to those emotions. And we kind of like suppress them, we might say, oh, we put them back, like to the back door oftentimes. It's usually for women especially, it's the sacral chakra, or the hip area where you have the hip joints. So once we start moving, we allow for this to get loose again. So especially in the feminine flow classes, like it says, there's a lot of hip circles. And swaying the hips from left and right, and also the chest, opening the chest and really showing as well your curves and touching yourself. And with that, you give yourself permission, and also your body realizes, oh, there's a feeling. I have an emotion. If I touch here, it feels good. Or actually, I'm a bit more sensitive here, or maybe I'm a bit scared. If you touch yourself, your inner thigh, maybe you might have something stuck there. So with the movement, the energy starts flowing, and that's how you allow for the energy to be expressed and come out, and you can really let go of that.
I love that.
So basically the emotion, which is energy, is transformed into a healthier emotion, a healthier energy, if you want to say.
Yeah. And I know that from my own experience. In my first class with Anne, I was like bawling, crying, because I didn't even realize that I had so much stored energy and emotion that I hadn't even really acknowledged. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I do a pretty good job of connecting with myself and being aware of how I'm doing, and I feel like I'm pretty even keel, but like there was some serious stuff that was stored and trapped in my body that I really had to release, and I feel so much more free and like truly authentically me after taking that time. Yeah, it's really powerful.
It is. If I might share something, like one of my experiences in the very beginning was, I was supposed to dance by myself. We were able to start on the floor, and I got a scarf just to cover my head. I'm like, I don't want the scarf, but okay, let me use the scarf. And I had the scarf over my head, I was sitting on the floor, the teacher put on the music, put on a song which is called Beautiful, and I started crying. And I was like, where does it come from? I felt so vulnerable, and I was crying because the song said you're beautiful, and I didn't connect with that, really. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much judging for myself or towards myself that I wasn't aware. In that moment, somehow it just opened up the door, and then I kept moving, and the emotions kept coming out, and I felt so much lighter afterwards. So it's very powerful, and during the journey, the more you dance, you have beautiful dances, like also very, really adventurous, exploring dances, and every other once in a while you hit a dance where new emotions come up, where you're like, oh, I didn't know I had this still stuck inside of me, but it's very liberating, it's empowering, it's a lot of fun as well. And you sometimes realize, oh my gosh, I didn't know this could be me too. It's definitely, it's a beautiful journey.
Yeah. So for all of our ladies that are watching this, a lot of women come and want to learn from my channel about relationships and how to show up better in relationships, how to connect to their feminine energy in relationships. How do you feel like this dance and feminine dance flow can help in relationships with men?
There's different layers to it. In a way, it's once you start connecting with yourself again and with your body, you start becoming aware of yourself, and you find again that love that you have for yourself, where you say, actually, I am deserving of this, and I'm lovable the way I am. So you start taking care of yourself more, which means you put your healthy boundaries, you look after yourself, which means you, in a way, I say always, your cup is full, and once your cup is full, whatever overflows is for the others. Which means, so if your own cup is full because you allowed for yourself to release whatever is not serving you, and giving all that love to you, automatically you are able to give love to the others, which means you will be, in a way, you will be more balanced, which means you will be more patient with your children, for example, or with your partner. And also, what happens is, in a way, as well, once you start loving and respecting yourself more, the others will see and say, oh, she's really respecting herself, I need to respect her too. Automatically, they get lifted up as well. And what I really love about this work is, so your mindset kind of changes, and it allows them to also say, oh, am I respecting myself? So automatically, somehow, they get pulled into this direction as well, to really want to improve their own relationship with themselves as well, to then have a better relationship with you as well.
Oh, that is so beautiful. And it is so, so true. Yeah. The more that you command respect for your own self, the more you ask for that respect. And you just exude that respect from others as well. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Anne, for just sharing your wisdom and sharing your gifts with the world and with me. And to all of our listeners here, it's really exciting to have you here, and so excited for your journey. Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we hop off?
Yes. Because when I was talking to you, that something that came into my mind is because through the dance and the movement and giving yourself permission to touch yourself, I also noticed that, or I've noticed it on myself, that when I go out, as well, when I'm sitting somewhere, by myself maybe, watching the sunset, I'm sitting there and I notice that I start just caressing my legs and oh, this is so nice, but involuntarily in a way, but it feels so good, so I'm kind of nurturing myself, or just looking there, and I automatically at some point just start giving to myself, which then basically allows me to give to others. And I just noticed that I'm more present because of this movement, because I'm embodied, and I'm hey, I'm here, I'm focusing on the moment right now. And at some point you just realize how everything is energized inside of your body. So you just really have this beautiful energetic feeling inside of you, around you, and that just basically, it's contagious towards others, and then
So
people
contagious.
get drawn to you.
Yes.
Like, yay!
Yes, men, women, dogs, kids.
Yes.
It's a powerful energy. Feminine energy is
Yes.
so incredibly powerful.
It is.
Yeah, well, if you would like to know more about Anne, I'm going to leave all of her details down below. You're welcome to subscribe and follow her on Instagram and check out what she's doing. And yeah, I hope we can do this again sometime.
Yeah,
and
wonderful.
continue to talk about it.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Oh.